Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Chronic Series. Finally, we are at season one finale of the great new show goes by the name of From. Like I said, it's new to me. I've been watching it. I got put on late, but I'm glad I did because I got time to sit back and formulate everything with it because, definitely my type of thing. But as far as I know, a lot of people been waiting for the recap because, like I said, y'all notice the sequence. I'm doing episode 1 through 3, so on and so forth. So it'll pretty much break it down into 4 segments, for each season. That way, I don't have to draw y'all out. I know a lot of people say build the content, build the content. I mean, I could do 10 episodes and for 10 episodes, but I'd rather do it in a different format and do it this way. And then later on, I'll release the recap videos that I put together later on based off of what my vision. And that's another thing too. When I sit back and look at a lot of the people who do the reviews and the recaps on this stuff, they everybody got a different look. It's different things that they look at and that they catch in the show is different. Some things that they miss. Some directions that I seen from the beginning that end up being the right direction. That's what really made me want to make this the first show that I talked about on the channel because, like I say, to me, it's unique because I'm a hard person to make binge watch. Like I said, I haven't binge watched the show in quite some time up until Tulsa King, and this put me right back in the same spot as Tulsa King. So it was like not saying it's the same type show, but it's a certain type of show that grabs me. And this one did definitely with it not being a bunch of known actors that I see all the time compared to the black dude. The rest of the people I probably seen once or twice, but it's only really had one main actor to make me gravitate to it. So that's why I really got into this one. But definitely glad to be back. Definitely won't take a longest hiatus this time. I mean, like I said, the reason why I try to space them out is, you try to let the episodes percolate and grow a little bit and, see let everybody catch up, get a chance to see it before you drop one. But as always, season finale. So I brought out the big boys, we're going back to the originals for the season finale. We say they hate and you can't see the big boy Dutch Masters because we got a lot to talk about on this last show. So I ain't feel like rolling up 2 3 L's. So I just went for the mother load. But let's dive into it. Like I said, episode 10 was a finale, so you should have known always with a finale, you look for that thing that's going to keep you on the edge. That's my only thing I hate about finales because if it's a series finale, then that means you're going to get all the fireworks in the world because everything that then transpired throughout that series has to come to an end because the show is over. But when you got a season finale, that means they going to leave you on a cliffhanger because they want to make you sit on pins and needles until season 2 comes around. And I'm not gonna lie, they did a pretty good job with this one. Very, very good one with this one because it actually they even like looking at my keynotes right here, it's like they literally touched on everything that would have you as a cliffhanger. So the first topic we're gonna get into them figuring out how to create energy from the lamps to power the radios. Now, a lot of people been you really watched the show for quite some time, they noticed about halfway through the first season that the sockets aren't working. The phone lines aren't working and stuff like that. They started tearing down walls, finding no wires and things like that. So that's why this is a big achievement for them to figure out because they came up with the idea around episode 8 and 9 to build this radio tower because they said that whatever they're in, vortex or whatever it could be, radio signals should be able to transpire past it. I don't know why radio jammers wouldn't be available in 2000s, but let's move on because once again, TV mistake. I don't know why. If it was an army experiment or if it was some type of place that they're trying to keep secret, I kind of think they would have radio jammers, signal stealers, things like that. But I liked it, the idea of the tower, because it gave the people in the town something to hope for, kind of make them feel like there's a big possibility they could be going home, definitely for the ones that have been there for years. So to me, I was kind of excited for the tower. I definitely would like to see that it worked. And then once they came in and realized that they figured out a way to power it, that's now like, okay, cool. This might be, what would get them home. I mean, I felt like, you know, that's what would have got them home too. The next topic is the hole in the basement. Now, as everybody watched, his wife was very, 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 very dedicated on digging this hole. I don't think everybody in the town knew. I think maybe one or two people know about the hole, but for the vast majority of the town, I don't think they knew that this hole exists in the basement. So that was kind of like I was trying to wonder how long were they gonna keep the hole a secret before they start telling people, because if you got a theory, I think it's enough conspiracy junkies in there that they could have got that basement dug out a lot faster than that. But you let a woman and her kid, and you know, they did it on their own. That was her mission. That was her journey. And I mean, she kept at it. Um, Next thing, boy, Boyd and Sarah's journey. Um, Boyd and Sarah. Well, Boyd always had this fixation of getting these people out of this town. I was under the impression that Boyd had some type of medical issue, because it's like his crusade got super, super heavy on him going out into the woods. When I think it looked like he spoke to the doc chick and she told him something, and then I think it's the way that he be feeling. But I think he felt the need to where he ain't give a fuck about himself, or like he thought he was gonna die. So I think he thought this was the time for him to take the journey. Sarah went because he noticed that Sarah was able to speak with the creatures or whatever is communicate with them. They're communicating with Sarah. So he took Sarah out there to pretty much help him out. Plus, after she killed these people based upon the voices telling her to do it, she wanted to do what she could to help out, to prove that she didn't just go kill these people because she wanted to kill these people. So that's how Sarah and Boyd ended up out there in, in the woods or whatever on a little adventure. I know the first night on episode 9, they got stuck out there halfway through and had to camp out in the tent. And I remember them sounding like they was on a boat or something, sound like a boat horn and a bright light, then the tent being dragging the tent and all this other stuff. So on this episode, when they wake up and they come out the tent, they're surrounded by cobwebs, like bunch of spider webs, thick spider webs. So as they come out, Sarah's telling Boyd a story, calling him this name that his wife, well, I'm sorry, he said it was his name back when he was in the military, nickname. But nobody there should know that name except for his son and his wife. So that's when Boyd realized that somehow they were using, because I mean, let me backtrack on this too. These creatures are very smart. They'll use things in your mind and things that's one off to you to gain to gain fearing. So by Boyd hearing that name from Sarah, who didn't even know him long enough to call him that, it did something to him. So he kept hearing a woman calling him, and he runs off into the webs, and then he sees a silhouette or a monster shape of his wife. And then he gets attacked by all these spiders that, these crazy spiders, crazy spiders. And that was crazy. And then it was the next one is that puzzled me. This is a question from me. What happened to the car wire and batteries? If y'all notice, at one point in time, Jade and the husband was running around looking for wires and batteries to try the radio and back out in the field by the tree. And if you remember, a lot of the cars they were going to, the batteries were missing and a lot of the wiring was missing. And that's at that time, that's when I realized I think that the town is listening to them. So as they're planning, these things are in their head somehow, and they know exactly what they're going to need to do what they need to do, or what they would even need to attempt to get out of there. So that's my theory of what I think happened to the Wires. Maybe we'll find out in season 2 or season 3, but I would love to know what happened with the Wires for the cars and stuff like that. Next thing, that caught my attention was this cool little romance between my man Kenny and the doc chick. And it's kind of funny because if y'all remember the backstory, Kenny came in with his mom and dad to this town. The doctor chick came in by herself. She was actually a lesbian engaged to another woman before she got stuck in this town. Her and Kenny little bond grew, and Kenny formed a relationship. But I also, from what I see, she flirted with Kenny too. That's why Kenny ain't misread it. But for she shot him down to try to give him the "oh, we can just be friends" type thing. I kind of seen it coming, but I really didn't because it looked like a little success love story, kind of like Ellis and Fox. But he was, oh, I thought that's what it was gonna be. Then on top of that, Kenny didn't been through so much, so I thought she was at least gonna be soft with my nigga Kenny and give him some twat. But it didn't work out that way. Sorry, Kenny. I mean, who knows? You might get it next season. Still time. Still time. Maybe. But next thing, I mean, caught my attention, Ellis and Fatima decides to get engaged. In the beginning, I was like, "Wow, would you do that, bro?" But I mean, the type TV show that is, it's like you living every day in hell. So for you to have a peace or a vision of heaven is cool. I know the people in the town will be happy because they get to help plan the wedding and all that shit. So it's good to have some type of normalization in a fucked up place. So, and I put that together very, very quickly. So that was a very cool thing, for him to do that because it's definitely changed the tempo of the town. He got some great news for his dad. Yeah. Well, he gets back because Boyd loves her. So, there's definitely some good news for Boyd once he make it back. Hopefully he got some good news for them too when they get back. Next topic is Boyd getting a message from his wife, then seeing her in the webs being attacked by the spiders. Now, with that, why I bring that back up is because if you will notice in episode 9, Sarah told him that the place is getting angry. So at that time, she know that that place itself has energy and abilities. And she told him it was getting angry at her. So even with the place sending him the message from his wife, maybe it was trying to deter him from going forward. Maybe it was trying to do something different. I don't know, but I think it was a message that he should have listened to because that's if he would have listened to Sarah. I'm not saying he might not have went forward and they went back, but even running off into the webs, getting bit by these poisonous spiders or whatever, like they hurt like hell. And for the monsters or whatever this place to be smart enough to use his wife's voice and face to attract him away from her, that was like a pivotal moment for me because I do remember her telling him the place is getting angry. Like the place has feelings or the place is a person. Yeah, crazy, right? Like it's a lot of twists and turns to this show. That's why I say, man, these my key moments. I look out. I mean, like I said, I told you, my key things are different from a lot of other shows that I watch, as far as recaps on this. Because, like I say, maybe it's the chronic, but I see things differently in this show. Even with my predictions, I keep them to myself because people. I started out episode 2 with far fetched theories of the show, and my homie like, maybe watch this, John. Nah, sometimes I can, I see TV, I see how things play out. It's like I tell people, it's just common sense. If you watching something on an app which fucks you up anyway. If I'm watching from on MGM, and they got season one, two, and three, and Boyd is in every still shot. That means Boyd's not gonna die. If you look through the episodes and see like the name of the episodes and things like that, once again, you see clips of people who were there in the original one, so you kind of know who's going to die and who's not, or at least who are the pivotal people in it, because they're always going to be in the stills of the movie. I mean, stills of the show. But moving on, where is my nigga Victor, and where has he been? I would love to know. Where's Victor? Um, One thing about Victor, like I said, I don't think Victor is dead because Victor he's been in that place the longest. So if anybody can survive there, it's definitely Victor. And I know Victor got a lot of little hiding places and things like that. Why he didn't come back to the town or find his way back, I don't know. I mean, that's all he seemed to care about was the town and his room and his drawings. So that's definitely a good one. But I would love to find out or hear where has he been. If he does show back up in One Piece, that's definitely a big one. The next one is the pivotal key moment where the asshole Jade finally decides to open up to Kenny's mom. Um, that's something that's been needed. I mean, I really think they work hand in hand with the little girl G checking him. I don't know what y'all call it, but the way the little girl checked him about her pop and all that shit, I think they did something to him, and then his arrogant ways. I think it just finally all just plummeted down. And then, Kenny mom was there to pick up the pieces, which was very cool. She ain't judging him, ridiculing him. She just told him it was pray. And I mean, even with Jay, he's like one of them people who's so arrogant in the town to where you think you the shit, but even in this place, it's starting to humble him. You can tell he keeps screaming he was rich before he got there. Your money means nothing. Your knowledge is the only thing that's helping you, the skills that you acquire, in your little tech shit, but everything else means nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody even know what you had or what you created. You just showed up there like everybody else. So, fast forward on after that, the $1 million question, because what was said on the radio. Um, what was said on the radio was very confusing. I don't know if you rolled it back a couple times, but the person on the radio knew exactly who they were talking to. And you see how calm and cool they sound. You see how I sound like a regular old person, but knew his name, first and last name government, knew that his wife was digging a hole in the basement and knew everything about what's going on. That was kind of crazy. That scared the fuck out of me. And I can't wait the second season to see if they tell who they're going to tell what that man said on the radio. Can't wait to hear that. But because I mean, only one heard it was Donna and the husband. So nobody else heard what was said on that radio or that anybody even answered the radio because they sent everybody inside for the storm purposes. The next one, which is a good pivotal moment for me, which is Jim's wife falling into the hole in the basement and finding my man Victor. That's why I was tripping about the Victor thing because his wife finally finished the hole to where she reached the bottom and it dug her into like an underground tunnel. And if I'm correct, like in the tunnel, you can see like electrical wires hanging, but they were hooked up to nothing. So I can't wait. I hope they touch more into that next season, explaining why the hell is the electrical wires just free hanging down in a tunnel, and why is it a tunnel under their house? And I mean, it was cool. I've been wondering where my nigga Victor been at for quite some time, and then she finds him in the tunnels under her house. So that was definitely like, a good one. But I'm glad to see that Victor safe. So, sorry to, stir y'all up. But yeah, Victor made, well, I ain't gonna say made it back safe. him and Tabitha have reunited as she fell in the tunnel and he took her to safety. Um, Whenever Jim heard what he heard on the radio, he kind of ran to the house to go see if his wife was okay. And, you know, she had already fell in the hole with Victor, which he'll find out, I guess, next episode because they didn't show him going in the house and seeing a hole and finding his wife. They didn't show that part yet. I guess they're gonna say that for season two. That's the ones that keep you on the set as a deceit. Um, Next scene that really got to me was Boyd and them because as they tried to communicate through the tower and the radio, it created a massive storm and it affected Boyd and them out where they was at in the woods. And I noticed when they was trying to find safety, the little boy in white who been popping up all throughout the season popped up and told Sarah the same exact phrase. The place is getting mad. You need to go inside. And she put him into what they call, well, y'all see a few times what they call a magical tree. So the little boy, yeah, the little boy told her to go into the tree. They have them all over, the area. I'm guessing because I know a few times people had went into these trees and came out of different places. But the guy's son refers it as the magical tree, well, the faraway tree. I'm sorry. So they went into one. Boyd and Sarah entered into a faraway tree, and I don't know where Sarah ended up at. Boyd ended up trapped in what appears to be a chimney. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it might either be a chimney or it could possibly be a well. But the only reason I'm gonna say it's a chimney because if it was a well, it should have an output. And then if it doesn't have an output, it should also have water. And the tight as the space is, it looks to me to be like a chimney. I don't know, but we'll find out. But I know it's four cement walls, four bricked up walls. He can barely even turn around in a circle. The space is so small. So I'm going to say somehow he ended up in a chimney. Sarah, I don't know where she ended up at. They didn't, for some reason, with these faraway trees, I don't think they take you to the same destination. Even if you walk in, holding hands, I don't even think y'all end up in the same place. I'm not sure. I mean, it's still early dealing with those trees because I don't even know where they at or how they can identify them. Is what they are. So that one was definitely crazy. And I mean, for you to leave my man strapped in the chimney, I hope Sarah find him and get my man Boyd about that joint because he got shit to do. Um, the next question that really puzzled me, and judging by how this show goes, I don't think we'll ever get an answer. But I would love to know who was that on the radio. I mean, it sounds like a regular person. Didn't sound zombie like or monster like. It sound like a regular old person. So, it would be cool if they ever would share the light to let us know, who was on that radio talking to Jim. But I guess we'll have to wait the next season to see if Jim and the lady actually tell people that they heard someone on the radio and what the person on the radio said, because now she also knows about his wife digging a hole in the basement who didn't know previously either. So there's definitely going to be a few twists and turns next season. There's definitely going to be a lot of explaining to do and what has to be said. Another thing, not on my notes about the spider bites on Boyd. Um, it's like y'all see he was so fatigued to the point where he didn't want to continue up the mountain, but he seemed a little more energetic after he got to another part, which was once he went to the faraway tree. So I was wondering, was the area itself taking a toll on his body, or could the place control how you feel? Because I know it does say it plays with your emotions, it feeds off your fears. So that's definitely one thing that came to my mind. that. And before we get out of here, we're going to have to talk about the biggest elephant in the season finale. Now, as everybody known, when Tabitha and her family showed up, and then Jade showed up, they said that was the first time ever that two vehicles showed up the same day. And to my knowledge, I think Tabitha came with her husband, son, and daughter. And then Jade and his friend came, which was six people total. His friend was killed hours after he got there. So that's five people. So as the show was going off, I mean, if you pay attention, the radio always plays a song pertaining to the situation or like it's a message or something. And then at the end of the season finale, you see a whole goddamn Greyhound type bus pull up out front of the diner. And it's like I'm just really thinking, like, first thing come to my mind, I'm like, oh shit, more people. More people to feed, more people to house. I don't think they're ready for this. And then on top of that, Boyd is away. So Boyd has to come back and deal with this. He does not know a whole bus full of people showed up. So that's gonna be exciting for him to have to come back and deal with knowing, damn, I left with this amount of people and now we have a whole entire bus full of people. Um Also, too, I mean, judging by how the other people reacted as they came into the town, how are these people going to react coming into the town? Is some of them cool? Is some of them optimistic? Is some of them assholes? Are they gonna think that this is a trap? This is just for them to send a bus full of people there is definitely a twist that I definitely can't wait to see how it turns out in season two. Definitely waiting to watch season two, episode one. I cannot wait because, like I said, that bus puts a whole nother factor in there. I mean, just thinking about it firsthand, right? You got the people in the RV showing up, and they son is showing signs of abilities, somewhat tremors, being able to see things, speaking and stuff. What about them people on the bus? That's kind of weird, right? So now you're gonna wonder what type of abilities do they have, or what are they gonna bring to the catalyst of it? Because it seems like everybody that comes into this town, since the people in the RV, is either trying to get out of the town or pissing the town off. And as I seen in season one, you don't want to piss the town off. But you know, but that's all I got right now for our season finale. I think we touched on every key topic that I seen relevant in the show. It was a few other, but they were just mediocre. But as always, we here. We here for the long run, man. Um, definitely make sure you check out the sponsor. Site still in construction, heartandstripes.com. Definitely make sure you check the sponsor out. Of course. Got a lot more sponsors coming soon in the near future, you know. But definitely appreciate you guys. If y'all already haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Slam that like button. And please make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when the new episodes are coming up. Even though we do post them on social media and so on and so forth. We haven't really came up with a dedicated launch time yet, but it will be in the workings now. Cause like I say, it's good to have it where y'all be waiting to know. Definitely you'll be getting a few new episodes touching on some on current shows too. Cause like I said, I watch a variety of everything. I watch everything. I ain't gonna say variety, but I got some up to date shows I want to start touching on too to get y'all my topic of how they look. Speaking of one of them, I can give you an example. Something like Law and Order SVU, and for me, I love Law and Order SVU. Like me and Olivia, boy, I've been hanging with Olivia since the '90s. That's my baby. So Law and Order, I know I always wondered No, we gonna say that for the show with my whole theory on Law and Order. But definitely thanks for chiming in, y'all. And as always, man, I see y'all next time.